The former head of the Algoma Public Health Unit is looking to Canada's top court to keep secret the embarrassing details of her personal relationship with a convicted fraudster the agency hired as its chief financial officer. Dr. Kim Barker warns public interest considerations will unfairly trample personal privacy concerns if court-ordered disclosure of the sensitive information is allowed to stand. The case arose in 2013 when APH hired Sean Rothberg as its interim CFO for 6 months. His hiring came after his predecessor left amid criminal charges of breach of trust and theft. Rothberg, however, turned out to be Sean Rutenberg, who had a criminal record for multiple counts of fraud. The revelation by Sue Today prompted Barker to resign in early 2015, sparking questions about her role in his hiring and whether their personal relationship had put her in an undisclosed conflict of interest. The health unit has long wanted to release the resulting forensic report under the Municipal Freedom of Information and Protection of Privacy Act, and the province's privacy commissioner agreed a compelling public interest in the disclosure outweighed Barker's privacy concerns. Barker, who says she is legally blind as a result of contracting malaria in Tanzania in 2003, objects to what she calls her re-victimization by releasing information in the report about how Mr. Rutenberg exploited her disability to manipulate her. She adds that it is personally hurtful to have to admit that her visual disability allowed her to become the victim of a professional con man. In 2017, Toronto police accused Rutenberg of using dating sites to lure victims into an intimate relationship before defrauding them. Soo OPP are investigating a single motorcycle collision on Highway 550 near Douglas Drive in Prince Township on Sunday. The 51-year-old driver of the motorcycle was transported to hospital with serious but non-life-threatening injuries. Residents of a First Nation threatened by a forest fire in northwestern Ontario used air, land, and water routes to leave their homes yesterday as authorities worked to find communities that could host them. The full evacuation of Pikangikum began on Monday. Some residents were being flown out on military flights, while others made their own way out of the community using a combination of boats and buses. The Grand Chief of the Anishinaabe-Aski Nation, Alvin Fiddler, said one of the biggest challenges so far had been finding places for Pikangikum's 3,800 residents to stay once they leave. Fiddler said officials are looking for accommodations for evacuees in southern Ontario, in Belleville, Cornwall, the Greater Toronto Area, and even the City of Toronto. Some evacuees have been flown to Hearst, Smooth Rock Falls, and Kapuskasing. Others, who are leaving by themselves via land and water routes, will get temporary accommodations in Thunder Bay, Dryden, and Red Lake before being taken on to other host communities. According to the Ministry of Natural Resources, the forest fire near Pikangikum, dubbed Red Fire Number 39, is currently about 6 kilometers southwest from the community on the opposite side of Pikangikum Lake and is about 404 square kilometers in size. According to a federal government source, Bombardier is laying off half of the 1,100 workers at its Thunder Bay Railway car plant. Two major contracts in Ontario for the Toronto Transit Commission streetcars and Metrolink's GO Transit rail cars are slated to halt by the end of the year. Local union president Dominic Pasqualino says he fears more job losses are on the horizon beyond the initial 550 as the contracts wind down. He says part of the blame for a lack of new contracts lies with the Trump administration, which has backed Buy America-like clauses requiring a minimum threshold of local content. Last month, Kenora Rainy River MPP Greg Rickford said Ontario's regional transportation agency, Metrolinx, extended an offer for 36 additional rail cars to Bombardier, but Pasqualino says the plant needs 10 times that amount to sustain sustain employment. The Regional Transit Agency has also given Bombardier the option to slow down production of the 63 remaining rail cars slated for completion by year's end. A Bombardier spokesperson declined to comment.